Wow. Hey guys, this is Chelsea and Megan. We're just coming to you tonight to have a little fireside chat with you. And I just wanted to introduce Megan. I know that we're live on my Facebook page. So this is Megan. She is a fellow FDN practitioner, kind of same and similar background as me. We both love to focus on mindset, and we're just coming to you live tonight just to offer you a little bit of encouragement. We want to talk to you about how we've been dealing with things during this time, how our clients are managing stress, and what are some of the top priorities we need to do in our health today to make sure that we are staying on track and making the best of this time under quarantine. So thank you for joining me tonight, Megan.
Yes, I'm so happy to join you. It's fun just to hop on and have a conversation about what's going on. I feel like it's been a little roller coaster that we're on. I know for me, it's been up and down and a little it's been a roller coaster. That's the best way to describe it. What about you?
How have you been dealing with it?
Well, at first I felt like it was I was kind of like, okay, like this is going to be okay. I'm going to be able to help a lot of people because I feel like this is a time to really focus on your health. And a lot of people are going to get some time with their family and be able to connect and get a lot of self-care in. And then fear kind of started to rear its ugly head. And I thought about all that could go wrong. And so what I know about mindset, I knew I had to whip my butt back into shape and really start to focus on,
right?
And start to focus on all that can go right from this situation, because I know that the negativity spiral is real. And so what about you? How have you been dealing with things?
You know, I've been really blessed. I did so much mindset work like years and years ago. And I think through my own personal healing journey, that was one of the big things that I dealt with was mindset. So I haven't really lost that positive mindset. I just try to keep that momentum going forward. But I think for me, sometimes that can have a negative impact because I'm constantly like looking for the next thing to do. And for me, it was my business was on the forefront of my mind, and it was growth, and it was helping people, and it was getting a message out there, and it was serving my community. So I found that I was constantly overworking. Like I just couldn't find that work-life balance. I was like, oh, I'm here, I'm all day, I'm in front of my computer. I'm going to be able to tackle all these extra things because I'm not having to go to meetings outside the house, no networking. It's like no driving anywhere. So you have all this extra time. But I realized that turned into overwork for me. And it made me go back to the time years ago when I was at my sickest point, when I remember I was a workaholic.
Yeah.
And I think that part of that is really what drove my sickness, you know, because we can work and stress and worry and just keep going until we literally drive ourselves in the ground. And as much as I preach that to my clients today, hey, you got to take care of yourself. You got to engage in self-care. I actually found myself falling back into that trap where I wasn't really taking care of myself. I was grabbing a protein bar and sitting in front of my desk and eating it instead of going in the kitchen and cooking a meal like I encourage them to do so much. So for me, it took getting, experiencing some of that chronic pain again, experiencing some of those old symptoms creep back in before I was able to take a step back and say, hey, you know what? Wait a minute. I am failing to do the very things that got me well in the first place. And I've got back on track now, but the amazing thing is the body is so quick to heal once we do get back on track. So amazing.
Yes, I am right there with you. I feel like my mind also went to work mode because I saw the opportunity in helping more people, and I knew that people were going to need help. And again, like with the mindset piece, it's like, okay, we know a lot about fear. We know a lot about anxiety. We know how stress affects the body. It's like, okay, this is work mode. And I also went into like, how am I going to pivot in a way? And that's what a lot of us are doing. I know I'm hearing that from clients too. They're having to learn how to pivot with homeschooling, and then also focusing on their health, So it's a time of we can be overworking in our minds too, just always constantly thinking about the next thing to do. I know I do that all the time. And for me, it's been something that's really affected me is my sleep. So
Yeah.
we, you know, I'm usually pretty good about going to sleep early, and during this time, it's like we've just been a little bit more relaxed in that area, going to sleep later, and my body feels it. I feel exactly like you said. My health starts to decline, and thank goodness, you know, we did a sleep challenge to get my butt back into gear, because I needed to be reminded that, hey, this is important. Your body heals between the hours of 10 and 4. And, you know, if I go to bed at midnight and wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, I still don't feel as good as if I were to go to sleep at 10 o'clock and wake up at 6 or 7.
Right.
And so that's something that I've been working on. My clients have also told me, you know, I'm sending them reminders like, hey, remember, we've gone over sleep. This is something that you really need to be focusing on too, because we need to be healing. We need to be strengthening our immune system during this time. And so that's huge. Another thing is falling out of routines. What about you? Do you
Yeah.
feel yourself kind of, or do you hear from clients that routines are kind of a little scattered right now?
Yeah, I think that's happened to a lot of people, you know, because we're like when we're working, we have all of this, we have our schedule, and it's like, okay, I'm going to get up, I'm going to work out. I have just enough time to do that. I'm going to get my
Yeah.
coffee in, I'm going to, you know, have my breakfast, I'm going to prepare my meals for the day, and we're out the door. And then we're coming home, and that routine starts again, right? That home routine. It's okay, we got to prepare the dinner, we got to get our stuff ready for the next day. Like everything works well because we don't even have to think about it. We've been in that pattern for so long, it just happens naturally. But I think it's easy for us to get out of routine when something like this happens, because for me, I think it's like, well, I have plenty of time to take care of this and this, or maybe
Yeah.
I'll try to get my workout in the evening. And it's like, oh, well, I missed my workout today because I never like squeezed it in because I got too busy, or now I'm too
Same
tired, or
here.
I don't want to work out before bed, you know, and be like
Yeah.
wired before I go to sleep. So I think it's that routine is so important. And if I can say anything during this time to the people listening is, you know, make sure that you are in that routine. Make sure that you are doing something to get back on track. We don't know how long this is going to last, right? They're telling us possibly by the end of the month, but the truth is everything changes from day to day. Like, how
Yeah.
long are we truly going to be in our homes? And will things ever go back to the way they were? Likely not, right? It's not just going to be business as usual when this thing gets back and we start working again outside the home. Things are going to be different. So I think we all need to
Right.
prepare ourselves for that, and just make sure that we're making ourselves a priority, make sure that we're staying focused during this time, because I think we can use this time right now to either propel us forward in our goals, our dreams, our visions, all of that,
Yes.
or we can like use it as a time to just be lazy and rest and relax and do absolutely nothing. But in
Right.
the end, we end up harming ourselves instead of, you know, we think, oh, it's relaxing. Well, it is relaxing, but we get nowhere when we do that. If we're doing it month after month.
Yeah,
you
I
know.
agree. And hey, maybe, you know, you don't have a routine right now, or maybe the one that you're used to doing just isn't working for you. This is the perfect time to start a routine. You know, this is a perfect time to say, okay, I've been hearing Chelsea and Megan talk about a morning routine and doing a meditation for stress reduction. Well, hello, this could be the time that
Yeah.
you start to do a meditation, or you start to go out in nature and get sunshine. I know
Yes.
that I'm hearing from clients that, you know, I had a group session for just releasing anxiety and stress, since a lot of us are facing that right now. And stress is really high for a lot of us. I feel like this is affecting everyone at some level, if not physically, if you have the coronavirus, or mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, like everyone is being
Right.
affected. And that causes stress on the body. It causes stress on the mind. And so, you know, I think it'd be great if we kind of talked about what are some good stress reduction tools that we're doing or we are advising our clients to do that people can start to put into their routine so that they
Yeah.
feel like, okay, I got a handle on this. I have a little bit
Yeah.
of control of my stress, and start to make these new healthy practices.
Yeah. I think for me, mine is like we were talking routine, mine is getting back into that routine. If I didn't have my morning routine, I would be probably a disaster by the end of the day.
Me too.
Sometimes I feel like I just get so much done in the morning for myself personally, and that's my personal time. And it's so I can feed and fuel myself so that I'm ready to face the world and face everyone else. That's
Mm.
my time of really calming, centering myself, and doing those types of things. So I think in the beginning, when I fell out of that routine, that's probably one of the things that I never really let it go, but it just felt kind of jumbled. Right.
Yeah.
So, and now I'm back and I feel like I'm
I
in
can
my
tell,
power
girl.
again.
I can tell. I like it.
Good. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm back in my power
Good.
because there is so much, like, I cannot give enough credit to like your morning power hour or however long your morning
Ooh,
power
I
hour
like that.
lasts.
Morning
Yes,
power hour.
power hour. Like, I'll come down, like when I first get up, my alarm goes off and I just think about the things I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
I just really start my day with gratitude. Like, what am I grateful for? And then I get up and I go and make my healthy coffee. I am an organo user. It's got some really healthy mushrooms in it, just adaptogens to really help start my day really, really awesome. I add some good healthy fats in there and I'm drinking my coffee. I have coffee and Jesus. I do meditation in the morning. I'm like really focused on my day. Like I really envision my day. Like, how do I want my day to look? How do I expect my day to look? And I think if we plan that out from the very beginning and we plan a successful day in the very first waking hours of our day, then we can truly achieve more. So mine is typically reading, meditation, and then my next step is some sort of movement. And it really depends on my first meeting. Like, do I have time to get in a good workout? If I do, then I'm going to get in about 30 minutes of, working out. If not, it's going to be 30 minutes of walking or moving or something like that before I even start my day. So that's kind of my morning routine, just to kind of keep me motivated. And then healthy eating falls in line when you've done everything in the morning to kind of prep your mind, prep your body, prep your spirit, right, to do the right things. And then
Yeah, you want to eat healthy if you're feeling good, right?
Exactly.
You want to keep it going.
Yeah. So do you have specific rituals or routines or anything that you follow kind of like that?
Yeah. So I wake up and I do, I'm really not a morning person. And so I have to like make myself, I like to stretch. I like to,
Yeah.
takes me a while to wake up. And so what I do for that reason is I start with some breath work because I like to think about it as cleansing anything. I've been dreaming like crazy lately, by the way, like very vivid dreams multiple times a night. What's my subconscious trying to tell me right now during this time?
Yeah.
And so I breathe, I do breath work to kind of clear all that energy in my body and also get movement in, right? It also starts to really focus my mind in on a relaxed mode. So like I focus on doing a lot of stress reduction with breath work so that my nervous system can calm down, and it preps me for my meditation. So I do breath work and then I do meditation and then I journal, I do gratitude, my intention for the day, kind of the same thing as you. Like, how do I want to show up? How am I feeling if I notice that I'm not feeling good, because those days are more frequent considering.
Your roller coaster, right?
Yeah, I give myself some grace. I allow myself to feel what I'm feeling, and then I start to move forward and I start to focus on gratitude and a lot of prayer. So I really set my morning up for those reasons. And then I move my body like you. So I get on a little mini rebounder, a trampoline, and I blast one song that puts me in a good mood. And it depends on, it's so much fun, but it's great for your lymphatic system. It helps to detox the body. Then it also shakes up the energy in the body. So I just love doing that. It's something that I've done for years now. When I went to a job that was more challenging to go to some days. And
Yes.
I had to like get myself into that mindset of, okay, like let's shake this out. Let's get started. Let's get on a happy note, like start the day on a happy note. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my routine. And some days it's
I
longer,
love
some
it.
days it's shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. And I love one thing that you said, because you are such a positive person and you're always looking on the positive side of things. Like, I got to just do it. I got to do it. But you said something earlier and you said, I allow myself to feel whatever it is that I'm feeling. And I think that's so important, especially during this time where we're dealing with a lot of extra stress and things like that. I think so many times we are taught, just get over it, just forgive, just move on, just whatever it is, just move past it, just forget about it. And I actually believe that the opposite is true and important. And that is that you feel those emotions before you get over it. Now, let's not cry in our Cheerios, but make sure that you're feeling those things and experiencing those and letting those emotions go. I think so many times we get attached to emotion, and we are the ones that give emotion energy. Like, emotion is just energy, but we're the ones that fuel it. So we can look at it as positive or we can look at it as negative, but it's neutral until we give it that
Yes,
emotion.
I love that. That is so true.
So
Also, I could sit. I mean, this didn't happen overnight. I've done a lot of work.
yes, I get it, girlfriend. Me
But
too.
I've learned that, the more you resist it, the more it's going to come up. And so having grace, and then like you said, just choosing to not give it your control anymore or your focus.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's such a good, powerful piece of advice.
Yeah. Do you think this time that we're in specifically is really important for people to be making health a priority right now?
Yes.
Do you think that there's like more of a need for that?
I do. I think, and this could look different for every person, to be honest. And this is my opinion. I think that the people who, like us, who like to push, push, push and work, 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 like we might need to have more of a balance of more self-care, learning how to do self-care. And with self-care, that's not just bubble baths and getting massages. It's learning how to eat right. It's getting adequate hours of sleep. It's doing stress reduction tools, working on your mindset, seeing if toxicity is running your life. Like, all of that in my eyes is self-care. That's true self-care.
Right.
And so, yes, this is the time, because I can't speak for everyone, but a lot of people's schedules are not as packed down right now. We're not able to go out and do social events. And so why not use that time in a productive manner to really start to focus on your health and see which areas, kind of do like an inventory, right? Like, which areas of your life do you need to strengthen? Is that with your nutrition? Is that with your relationships? Is that with your work? Are you in the wrong workplace? Because all of that is connected to your emotional health, to your physical health, mental health, everything. And I feel like it's a really good time to really focus in on that, get really like zoom in, get clear about how can you live your best life in a healthy way that's really aligned with who you are. I think this is another thing, aligning with finding out who you are and what your purpose is and what really fuels you. I think all of that, this is a time.
Yes, I love it. I love it. And I totally resonate with that. It reminded me of this little thing that I did years ago. It's called the Wheel of Life. I probably did it last year. You know what I'm talking about, where it's kind of like you create balance in your life. So there's your career, there's your finances, there's like, where are you spending your time? Is it relationships? Is it on your health? And I love that, because you said to take a clear inventory. And that is one thing that I've really been going back. And I'm personally looking at my life and trying to decide, what do I even want anymore? Like, how is this different now than it was before all of this started? Like, who am I at my core? Who is Chelsea? Like, who is this person? And who is she supposed to be? Who does she want to be? I think that right now, especially, we have so many things that are being driven into us by the media, by, the people around us. You should be this and you should do this. And this kind of was even before this outbreak, but I think even more so now because we're being fed a lot of information about how we should think, what our opinions should be, and all these different things. And you're either taking one side of the bus or you're taking the other. And it's so difficult to be that middle of the road person. Well, maybe I kind of believe both,
Mhm.
So I think that's kind of been where I've been for my health personally. And that's from a place of within. Like, who am I within? Who do I want to be?
Yeah.
Who do I want to be in my health, like in my areas of fitness, like the types of foods that I want to consume, like all those things are important. But I think that we really have a chance to kind of go through a transformation right now.
Right. And I want to piggyback on that because I think it's important for people to understand, a lot of times that can be clouded if you're not already doing, if you don't already have your holistic foundations down. Like
Yeah.
if you're eating like poop, you're probably going to feel like poop. If you're not
Right.
pooping, so just really, looking at that, like, and this is why, like, with what you and I do, we help people with diet and exercise and rest and stress reduction and correct supplementation to help the body systems. If you need to do all of that, if you're not currently focusing on those areas, then you might be, what, I can't even like feel like I'm saying this right, but jaded, is that the right word I'm looking for? Like, kind of, you might not even understand what you really want or how you're really feeling because you don't feel very good.
Right.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah. It's almost like you're in a cloud or a fog.
Yes. So
Yeah.
that's why it's really important, if you haven't currently jumped on the health bandwagon of eating really clean, removing food triggers from your life and other things, then it's the time to do that too, because you're going to start to feel so much better. And then you're going to want to do more positive things in your life because of it, because you're feeling better, you're having more energy, and your mood's going to change. Who knows, you might even lose some weight, like it's just, the benefits can go on and on. And so, I think all of that is so, so important. And also like the connection piece, like really connecting with people that you are in a household with right now, if you are, and if you're not, then really make it a point to get on some Zoom calls or do some, FaceTime people so that you have that connection, because that also can really dramatically affect your health, if you're not getting that social interaction. So I think that's also important to talk about. So tell me, Chelsea, as we kind of wrap this up, do we have any questions or anything? Or
you know what? I don't know if we've got anything that came through or not.
Okay.
I lost that.
So if you had to leave any other piece of advice to tell people, I know we've talked about a lot of good stuff. Anything else that you think that you want people to know during this time or might be helpful during this time?
Yeah, I think that, one of the things you mentioned was relationships. And I had a client reach out to me today asking about relationships, and, and I said, you have to do what you feel is right during this time when it comes to your relationships. I know that for me, reaching out through Zoom, being present here, for me, my saving grace is nature. They recently shut down our state parks here in Texas, and that kind of was really upsetting to me because I was getting out in nature. I think that finding something that connects you more with the earth. The earth is healing. It's, whether it be sunlight, whether it be the woods, going out in the forest. We still have national forests. They're open right now, even if they're not, go walk along the edge of them, do something to breathe in the immune system of the world around us.
Yes.
Like the world breathes and it beats and it has its own breath and being and life form. And we are a part of that. And when we become disconnected from that, and we are behind a computer and we are in four walls and we are not communicating with human beings, we are getting out of touch with who we were created to be. So this is my biggest piece of encouragement, if I can give anything, and that is get back in touch with everything real. And what's real is out there. And I know that we're being told the opposite, don't get out there. But I mean, you can have real food over fake. You can have relationships with people like even you and I having this conversation. You can get sunlight on your face, even if it's from your back patio. You can walk around barefoot in your yard to take in some of the earth's healing frequencies. You can do things like that to just engage and be around what's natural.
I love that. Get real. That's what we should have
Yeah.
titled this. Get real.
Get real.
That's
Yeah.
good. I love that. I think that's so helpful. And it's
Yeah.
for me too. I love just getting outside of nature. When I'm in my head too much, which happens a lot, I just have ideas that flow and just it's hard to shut off my brain sometimes. Getting
Yeah.
out of nature is my saving grace too. I take my shoes off, I ground in the earth, I just relax, let the sun hit my body if the sun's out. And it gets me back into my body. And I literally feel the energy vibrating in my body when I do that. And it takes me out of here. It's so
Yes,
healing.
it is.
So I agree to that. Thank you for sharing
I
that.
think some of the things that we can do on a regular basis, even some of the things that are absolutely free to us, we take for granted. And I think nature is one of those. So
you're right. You're so right. I love that.
yeah. So before we wrap up, I know I'd love for you to share, like, what do you have going on right now that people can kind of engage with and, maybe get to know you, maybe get to know some of the things you're offering, because I want people to be able to connect with you today if they feel a connection.
Yeah. So I made a document because of this time. I'm like, okay, everyone needs to focus in on their health. So I have a free ebook if y'all are interested. It's 9 ways to build resilient health. It covers a lot of what we talked about on this call, but you can have your own little ebook. If you'd like that, send me a message. And then I also offer free consultation calls. And that's just to say, and I know you do too, Chelsea. It's just to see like if we're a good fit, what's going on with your health, and to see if you're ready to move forward with a health game plan and get your health in check.
Awesome.
Get real.
Yes. Get real.
What about you? What do you have going on?
Well, I have an upcoming reset. So it's called my at-home quarantine reset. That's coming up on the 20th. And I just want to, it's absolutely free. It's for anyone who wants to come and join. I want to talk to people about how do I get out of these cravings that I'm having now that I'm home? Just balancing the plate appropriately. What am I supposed to be eating to fuel my body appropriately? I want to get down to the basics of healthy living, talk about some stress reduction techniques, talk about energy, talk about sleep, talk about just food in general. And then I'm saving something very special for the last and final day. I'm not going to expose that publicly. So if you want to join in, I have a registration. You can shoot me a DM. I'm very easy. However you want to get in touch with me is just fine. I have my book online as well. It's called Healed His Way. You can access that on my website or on Amazon. So if you don't have a copy of that, I encourage you to pick it up. There are plenty of tools and resources to get your health back in line. It shares a lot of my healing journey, and it allows people just access to tons of tools and resources so they can do exactly the same thing and put literally their own health program together on their own. So
I need to get that book. I don't have that book. I didn't even know you had a book.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I'll get it. All right.
Cool.
Well, that sounds good. Anything else that we want to cover?
I think we're good.
Just send us a message if y'all are curious and, talking more with us, or if you have any questions, if you are watching this later, shoot either one of us a message on, I guess we're going to do this through Facebook.
Yep. Facebook's fine. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Perfect.
All righty.
All right. Well, thank you, Megan. It's good connecting with you tonight, and we will talk to you guys later.
You too, Chelsea. I loved it. Have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.